Hi, guys.
Thanks.
Hi.
I recognize and know that you're watching, paying attention. We have excused absence, Aaron and Hannah. Need a motion to approve excused. Mike, Kevin. Any opposed? Motion's passed. Land recognition, Lisa, you need land recognition or do you have it?
I don't have it with me.
I can do it if you have it now.
Please.
Sorry.
Maybe.
Lisa, can I do it for you? Matthew's just getting it.
Sure, thank you.
The one word on here I can't pronounce, but that's okay. The Sault Ste. Marie Public Library is a gathering place where community comes together to share stories, to explore new ideas, and to gain knowledge of the past. It is through this unique position in our community that we support and promote truth and reconciliation with Indigenous peoples. We acknowledge with respect that we are in Robinson Huron Treaty territory and that the land on which we are gathered is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and known as Boating. Boating is the home of Kinishtibi, Garden River First Nation, Batchelana First Nation, and the historic Sault Ste. Marie Métis Council. The library and we as individuals have a deep desire to bring about change in our community and move forward together as diverse and inclusive peoples. We are dedicated to honoring Indigenous history and culture and are committed to moving forward in the spirit of reconciliation and respect.
Thank you. Number 2, declaration of conflict. Anyone? Business of the day. Hearing none. We'll move on. We have no delegations. It brings us to the chair's report. This being our last meeting for the year, I'm going to try to move fairly quickly. It's a beautiful day. I think it's been a pretty successful year. We're still post-COVID in some sense, but we've made good strides this year in getting things back on track. Matthew has a full staff again, so you can give him all the work you want now. Yeah, that's all I want to say. So,
Have approval of the agenda.
did I miss that? Number 3, approval of agenda. Paulo moves, Lisa seconds. Thank you. Anyone opposed to the motion? Motion passed. Sorry, I missed that one. Number 6 is the consent agenda. Anyone need anything removed from consent? Got it. Give me that. Yep. Okay, then we will move to 6.5. Summary of motions. You resolve the Sault Ste. Marie Public Library Board approves the consent agenda of the June 24 meeting as presented. I need a mover, Steve. Second, Jamie. Any opposed to the motion? Motion is successful. Number 7 is done. I said I wanted to finish the meeting fast. I didn't mean 5 minutes.
That's okay, I'll slow it down.
Number 6, business arising from the, we didn't do that.
No, we did that,
What is that?
didn't we?
We done the minutes. Minutes are approved. It's business arising, so that was not originally in previous agendas. We have now added that, and if you notice that the agendas are a little bit different in format. So at the beginning, we have the meetings may be viewed on YouTube channel as was requested by Jamie at an earlier meeting, and then also a business arising from minutes.
Okay,
So it's outside of the consent.
thank you. And under business rise at board fundraising, at the conclusion of the last meeting, it was kind of directed, not kind of, was directed that if you had a suggestion on how we could pursue fundraising as a board, that you forward that information to Matthew. He hasn't received any.
Well, no,
Jamie did.
no, excuse me,
Okay.
for me twice.
I'll come back to you in a second.
Oh, gee,
Jamie
the topic.
initially raised that. I didn't forget about you. All right, go ahead, Jen.
Go ahead. Okay, so at the last meeting, I was asked to bring back more information about the Innisfil Sparks Gala, I think it was called, and at the last meeting, I apologize for not having that information at the time. So it was a one-day event. It was called Spark Gala, a celebration of creativity and imagination. It really was a board event. That was Matthew's concern that, that it's a board thing and not a staff thing. So their board has a fundraising committee. And they sold 120 tickets at $125 each. So they made $15,000 on ticket sales. They promoted it as the funds raised will help the library do more, so air quote do more. So they're not free programming such as movie nights, author talks, and new collections. They had a series of sponsors, gold, silver, and bronze. Their food sponsors donated the food for the event, so the in-kind support really helped. The donations are ongoing at this time. They still have major sponsors that are donating money. They have made a decision not to do this as an annual event. The original idea that would be annual, but now they're talking about scaling it down and doing like a $40 ticket that might just have as an author talk or an artist or something that isn't a gala. So because the ticket, $125 was a pretty steep ticket price. And then there were 3 stories that were that David Helwig actually provided, believe it or not. And David sent me links to 3 stories that were in the Innisfil newspaper, which is run by Village Media. So I shared, if anybody wants to, I've got notes. So it's, it works. And they are delighted with the number of tickets that they sold and the amount of money that they raised. And they're very happy. So.
Thanks, Jim. There's a little fatigue, I think, we're reaching because it's the June meeting. And I don't want to put this, I do want to put this, I'd like to defer this item till the fall, and then bring it back and have a further discussion. Does the board want to pursue a fundraising event? Is this something we're interested as a body? Is this something we want to pursue? I put that out there. If that's what you'd like to do, that would be my suggestion.
And suggestion.
Sure.
We do have a board development meeting in the fall, and that would be an opportunity to.
Perfect. Anybody have a problem with that?
Well,
Anyone?
If I have an idea, could I develop it further?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, and then, you know what, like I said, it is June.
I could bring it back to the October meeting.
Beautiful
How's
day.
that, Matthew? Okay,
The board development.
I could do that.
So,
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and then we could decide as a board how we'd like to. If it's that or something else, we can come up combination of staff.
We could brainstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't want to go away. So if there's no opposition to that. Mike looks like he wants.
No, I don't.
I'll give you a chance.
No.
That's bugging you. All right, let's move on to item number 9. Every breakfast counts. Matthew?
Yeah, I just wanted to make mention of this program. It's a great program that they run through the schools. But they found that there's a bit of a gap in the summer months. So these kids often rely on the program for breakfasts in the mornings. And they get them at school, but then they have these 2 months of the year. So social services in the mayor's office came up with this program, and they decided to extend it into the summer months. And we were approached earlier in the spring about being one of the drop-off locations or pickup locations for these breakfasts for some of those families. So I believe it's 3 days of the week. We will have a number of meals here waiting for pickup, and we'll have some volunteers that are outside of the front canopy, and they'll be issued that.
Are they library volunteers? Or they, oh no, they're not.
They're every breakfast counts volunteer.
Oh, fine, okay.
They're just using our site.
Yeah, because we're a public location.
It's a nice piece.
And they're using a number of other public locations. I believe they're probably doing it at the Greco Pool and John Rose and a few other places.
Comments, questions?
I love it.
Like it.
Yeah, it's simple. And you got the public library sign, pictures that are taken. So, what do they do if they're not kids? What's the, is there an age limit?
I believe there is an age limit for it. So they're gonna bring in cooler with a set number of meals.
Mhm.
And we'll issue them to kids who fit the criteria.
That's nice, so good news.
And anything that's left over actually gets taken to the youth center. So say there's 25 meals that are brought over and 24, 43 are used, the extra one or two, that way there's no waste.
And how do they advertise? Right, but will we put something on?
We will have like a sandwich board outside. The mayor's office has contacted us about dropping one off already. Outside of that, I believe there'll probably be communications with the families more directly.
Good. Anyone on screen have any comments, questions?
Nope, love it.
It's nice, it's a nice piece of product. All right, thank you, Matthew. Number 10, board development, nothing. Number 11, new policies, nothing. Strategic plan.
Very short report.
It's all about.
I mean, it's only been a month. There's not a lot that we could have done in a month's time. One of the things I did want to do was kind of display some of the information to you differently. So rather than the bar graph, I've done some pie charts that can kind of show you what portions of the items have been completed on or ongoing or started or not started to give you a better visualization of just the bar. But they've all been updated. And in my email to the board about today's meeting, I also included an updated document which has action plan items which have been updated. So if you want to look at the individual action items, look at that document and see where the changes have been made. They're all highlighted yellow in that document. It's just a fairly lengthy document, so it's not usually Spanish. Just looking at it, you can quickly see that we've got a good quarter of each one done. Except for heritage and culture, we've got looks like it's approaching 50% where we've made progress on that one.
Mhm.
So overall, it's about a third, I believe, that progress has been made on. And under the action item summary, you printed yours out black and white, but if you printed yours out in color, you can see the green and red arrows indicating the difference changing in each category. So the not started went down 16 and completed one was completed, but we did start on 9 others and have 6 of them from last month. So yeah, and in the September, I expect I can go back to another comparison, see quite a bit of difference. June and if there's any questions about any particular action items, those 2, had a chance to look at those.
Well, I told you before the meeting that I did go to that document and I looked at it and I found an action item that I can't find now, but Catherine assures me it's there. Where like probably under marketing and communications that board members can attend. And I think maybe we need to start tracking attendance of those in order to mark it as in progress or completed. You know, you could track tons of stuff in your spare time. I did have a question. There was in marketing and no, it was in community engagement, maybe, there was one action item where I thought I read that board members are supposed to encourage delegations to the board meetings.
Yeah, that is an
What's the content, what would that look like?
act.
I mean, within reason, right?
Yeah, and so we don't have traditionally, we haven't had a lot of delegations.
No.
If you remember, city planning came here one time.
Mhm, Peter
delegation.
Knapple, yeah,
Peter came.
yeah,
So we'd like to see something like that. Maybe local immigration partnership could come at some point. And
or
talk
somebody
to the
from the
board.
breakfast program could come
Sure.
and talk to us about. So the process would be that we talk to you and you invite them, is that how it works?
Yeah, I mean, you can also, if you happen to be out in the community and you talk to somebody, or we're at a Take 5 and with business community leaders, and they have something that like really beneficial for the library board to know, then they could, bring it to us, and then Wayne and I go over the agenda and, add them to it, they get 10 minutes, 10-minute presentation.
So do they need to
give
give you 2 weeks notice and give you a copy of
The policy does have state how much notice has to be provided. I don't remember exactly, but there is a notice period. So you can't come the night before and ask
No,
to join the meeting, but given enough notice, yeah,
okay,
it can be.
so but realistically, you wouldn't want more than 2 delegations per meeting,
One,
more than one. Okay,
depending on the business of the day.
okay,
Yes.
interesting.
See, most of the delegations we've had have been from the union.
Yes.
I think the last one that wasn't have been Carbon from Zen. Speaks to the word. Both the sign, the name change.
Dan Brown at one point.
Mark Brown.
Mark
Mark Brown.
And
That's true. Yeah, so it's been pretty sparse. So this is a different act. This is
you both know
like
that-
Bush Plain coming to share knowledge about what they do and how we could work with them, I suppose, right? Chamber of Commerce.
We try to keep it at governance level, but like things are happening in the city, like the city plan.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
happening all around this
What's that? Yeah, okay,
this
You're right.
building,
That
like
would
maybe
be
having them come in with instructions actually. Approaching and discussing what the impact is going to be on downtown areas,
Mhm.
specifically down in this cultural corridor. That would be an interesting thing, to have somebody come speak about.
Oh, no, Jennifer Portobello. So we can brainstorm collectively for ideas, that we could pursue.
well, they were, a while ago, they were asking for feedback on the waterfront plan, and that might have been something that could have been brought forward to this meeting. Since we now apparently are part of that plan. Might have been an opportunity to provide feedback. Okay, thank you, Matthew, that's what I wanted to know.
Anything else, anyone? Jamie, you're good, okay. Number 11, we're done, strategic plan done, chiller repairs.
I have a report in there and I do apologize. I did get the package out a little bit quicker than usual. But it's because of this report here had undergone a number of changes. Originally at the finance committee meeting, you're talking about having to bring a motion forth to the board to approve these expenditures. And we don't actually have to do that. So in discussions with city purchasing, it's the city's funds from the capital asset management fund. And with the low dollar amount, we were able to get quotes, and so they've processed it. The approvals already happened through city council when they approved the overall capital assets budget. So there's no need for approvals at this level. It's just city engineering has to review the project, and I believe it's already gone past that point. And we've now sent out, or city has sent out a purchase order for the work to be completed. And the next step is actually having the company come in and do the work. So that's progressed.
Hopefully before the summer's over.
Back Northern has been working with us closely do their maintenance, and I believe, well, as soon as they get the parts, then they'll be launched.
Any questions? Hearing none. Number 14, resolve that the members of the Sault Ste. Marie Public Library Board move into closed session pursuant to the Public Libraries Act, section 16.4. Closed meetings as the subject matter may be considered is labor relations or employee negotiations. Further be resolved that should the said closed session be adjourned, the board may reconvene in closed session to continue to discuss the same matter without need for further authorizing resolution to attend McDonald, Altonen, and Bordeaux. Good motion. Mover, Steve, second, Mike. Any opposed to going into camera?